We're growing up in a Facebook, Instagram world. In other words, we're good at putting filters on things. We're good at showing people that life is amazing even though I'm depressed. We've all had it where you're feeling a little bit down or feeling a bit lonely, and so you send out 10 texts to 10 friends, hi, hi, hi. Because we know when you get a hit of dopamine, which feels good. It's why we like it, it's why we keep going back to it. Dopamine is the exact same chemical that makes us feel good when we smoke, when we drink, and when we gamble. In other words, it's highly, highly addictive.
I feel that likes on social media are important. It seems these days we're all competing against each other as to who has more likes.
Well, if I posted something and it gets ignored, I would kind of feel unpopular and unconfident.
I do feel conscious about how I look in photos that I post because I care about others' opinion of me.
Well, likes are a form of social validation. We all like compliments, whether we get them in person or online. By Irish people, by their very nature, tend to be so very reserved about how they accept compliments. This jumper, I found it in the back of the wardrobe, but they still like to get them. Whereas social media is a very easy way of people validating other people, and it's a very easy way for people to accept them. All I need to do is put a picture of me and my new jumper there and wait for my 10, 20, 50, 100 Facebook likes. Are people becoming more addicted to social media? It depends on what we mean by addiction. We're definitely using social media more and more, but is it leading to adverse consequences? Possibly, or maybe for some people, but we would have seen the same argument against television 30, 40 years ago, against computer games 20 years ago. We've kind of moved on from that as they become more ubiquitous to everyday life. I suppose people can benefit from any sort of form of social validation, but there can also be negative consequences as well. If we expect social validation for something, we post something up on Facebook that we don't get the prerequisite number of likes that we accepted, it can make us feel very bad in ourselves. If you look in terms of the internet, so the early internet, what we've seen kind of, when there was a mass appeal in the early to mid 90s, we often know it as Web 1.0. And what was happening then, we were going online to get information. We were information seekers. We're now into, coming to the end of the second stage of the internet, colloquially known as Web 2.0. The difference is we're not just going online to get information, we're going online to post information, so we don't just get information from Facebook or Twitter, that we post information there. So as well as being information seekers, we're also information providers, and because now we also provide information, that's added this social element to the internet, so that has allowed us to interact socially. And as I said, we're social animals. That's what we like to interact socially, but any social interaction has the potential for positive and the potential for negative.
Blame it on the so-called generation validation effect, which is rooted in what else? Social media. People in their 20s and 30s have gotten so accustomed to receiving praise online that they start to expect the same amount of validation offline too. But here's the weird part. It's not always a conscious thing. Even the most confident people are falling victim to the phenomenon unknowingly. Yes, the validation effect is slowly slipping into millennials' collective subconscious. There are a few reasons why the generation validation effect has taken off exponentially. The first being that our generation has turned into a great big bunch of over-likers. Think about it. Your friend posts a terrible picture of a cupcake on Instagram, complete with bad lighting, an off-centered horizon, and it's half melted. And how many likes can it get? 50? 100? Be honest. You know that's absurd. And while you may think you're being nice by throwing your girl a thumbs up for her culinary expertise, your like is actually contributing to the larger validation problem. When people get praise for even the most mundane things, it dilutes the like by making its value less special. In turn, the like itself becomes more normal, and once that happens, people start to expect likes in all facets of their life, both online and offline. The problem with needing to be hearted all the time is that it leaves many of us feeling, well, disheartened. A University of Michigan study published in the Journal of Social Issues found that college students who based their own self-worth on external sources, like approval from others, reported more stress, anger, academic problems, relationship conflicts, drug and alcohol use, and symptoms of eating disorders. The issue is rooted in a phenomenon psychologists refer to as contingent self-worth. When you're waiting for someone else to confirm that what you're doing is cool, you're basing your opinion of yourself on their values, not your own. And the further you stray from your own center, the more unhappy and miserable you'll feel. And remember, not everything you do is likable, which is totally okay. Wherever you go, there are going to be some people that simply just don't like you. And that's human nature, and once you accept that, it's so liberating. In sum, just do you.